Right, guys, here we go. You joined me at the start of season 2. If you haven't already checked it out, we did do the pre-season tournament in the last episode, and it was a really good effort by the lads. Do go back and watch that because obviously that will set things up for the start of this season. Okay, so calendar-wise, usually we would play every game in the month, but August is absolutely chocked full of games, so we've got 6 in total. I'm not going to get through all 6 of those in this episode, so I'm going to break that down into 2 separate episodes. So first off, we've got a little bit of a Midlands derby here as we face off against Notts County away. We'll then face off against Chorley at Damson Park at home, and then we'll go away to Hartlepool. The rest of those fixtures against Stockport County, Wrexham and Barrow will be taking part in the next episode. So there we have it, £525,000 on the table for Eamon McGee. And although obviously he didn't play a great deal of games last season, he was part of my plans of the season coming forward. However, we cannot turn that kind of offer down. And if that transfer does eventually go through, we will then go into the youth academy and try to pilfer some additional talent from out of there. Hasn't taken long for our youth academy prospects to start gaining some traction out there as well, and Rory Drummond here, the Scottish central defensive midfielder, has got an offering on the table from Torquay of £155,000, his valuation at £120,000, and you know, tempted to take a look at that offer, especially as we are preferring Patterson in that role. So let's see if we can get a little bit more money for him, and if we can, that deal might well go ahead. Right, so we did listen to them, and Torquay have upped their offer. £165,000 on the table now for Rory Drummond, and we will go on to accept that. But the other news is that the deal is done for Eamon McGee at £525,000, of which £350,000 of that will go into our transfer kitty. Right, guys, so a couple of players might well have seen the door in terms of McGee, and it appears that Drummond is on his way out too, but we have had an absolute worldie signing here. We have gone off to the free agents list and scouted through there to find some talent and somebody that perhaps will raise our game. Now, having lost Cathal Kennedy, I really need somebody to come into that CDM role and just grab it by the scruff of the neck and really drive performances home. And in that respect, we found David Volpini. The Argentinian is only 17 years old. He can play as a CDM, a central midfielder, or a centre back. So he's a very versatile player. He's a left-footed player and has 5-star skill moves. Only 2 on the weak foot, but I'm sure that that won't be a problem. On top of that, traits-wise, he's a solid player with leadership. And as we know, we do need somebody to fulfill that captain's role as well. So this is going to be a really good signing for us, hopefully. And look at those physical stats. Hopefully this guy is going to be bananas. Right, guys, so some bad news here as Max Allen's release clause has been met. And that means that obviously he could potentially leave the club. I will try to renegotiate a contract with him in order to try to stave off this attack that we're having. But I don't want to lose him. He was fabulous for us last season at right back, and we haven't really got a replacement in line for him yet. Even though we have a couple in the youth academy, we've not actually brought them through. So I will try and negotiate that contract, and if we can't do so, then I will obviously have to go off and look at the youth academy. Okay, guys, so exceptionally good news. I've managed to negotiate a new contract with Max Allen. As you can see, his valuation is now £500,000, and no wonder that they came in to meet his release clause at £350,000. The other good news on top of that is that I managed to negotiate a new contract with him without a release clause, so we don't have to stave off that kind of scenario again. However, I do expect that during the course of this season, we might have some other offers tabled for him. Okay, guys, so some scout reports coming in, and the first one here is from Oliver McDonald. He's got Harvey Carter, 16 years of age, with an overall of between 48 to 64 and a potential of 53 to 71. Ollie Roberts, overall of 44 to 62 with a potential of 49 to 71. Joel Davis 40 to 56 with a potential of 57 to 81. Cameron Kelly has an overall of 42 to 62 with a potential of 43 to 62. That is weird in terms of overall and potential, but we'll monitor that progress. Oliver Griffiths is 48 to 64 with potential of 49 to 60, and again a bit of a wild tangent there in the overall and the potential, so we'll keep an eye on that. And then Charles Moore, 32 to 44 on the low end of the spectrum, but potential up to the 66 rating. So we'll just keep him on the list to see how he progresses in the report next month. Okay, so Ian Kennedy has come up with only 2 players in his scouting mission in England at the moment. We've got Max Green overall between 37 and 55 and a potential of 38 to 49. So again, a weird skew in terms of overall and potential, but I will keep an eye on him just in case the variance is changed for next month. We then got Jonathan Wilson, overall of 48 to 66 with a potential of 57 to 79, so that's a little bit better, but we will monitor him going forward into the next calendar month. Okay, so lastly we've got Johannes Magnusson out in Sweden, and he's brought back 3 players here for us to take a look at. Carl London has an overall between 40 and 58 with potential of 48 to 70. There's then Jan Persson, 39 to 59 overall with a potential of 55 to 81. And lastly, Peter Eklund is 47 to 65 with a potential of 50 to 70. We'll keep these guys on the list ready for next month's report back from Johannes. Okay, so here we go, the first game of this episode as we face off against Notts County at Meadow Lane, and we really want to get a flying start to this season. Looking for some support. Volpini's in there and he's found Rafferty. Off to Cockerell Mullet. Looks across. Here's Peterson into Neustrom and he tries to slide it round the keeper. Just doesn't have enough on it to beat Graham. Well done, intercepting that, Max Allen. Doing his business no matter where he is on the pitch. Keeper's come for it. Max out to a Campbell. Takes the shot but he can't get it away on target. And that's how we go into half time here at 0-0. Really lack that cutting edge in the first half here, so we do need to try and find something here against Notts County in the second. Can't get the ball away though. Does this time. Volpin feeds it onto Rafferty, rolls it round his man and accelerates away. Great pace shown by Rafferty there as he comes back inside. Feeds it off. Fredrickson from distance and it's straight down the throat of Graham. Last throw of the dice here for us as we make our 3 substitutions with just moments left on the clock. Let's see if these guys can make an impression as they come onto the field. And there we have it. A 0-0 for our first performance here in the National League. We were up against one of the big boys in this division. Notts County are one of the better teams, so we do have to take heart in that result, but we really need to push on and grab some points early on in the season. So there we have it, the deal has been finalised for Rory Drummond, £165,000 for this deal with Torquay United. £100,000 of that will go into our transfer budget. Okay, so here we go, the second game of the episode. This one's a home game as we face off against yet another team in black and white, this time Chorley. Great stuff there by Max Allen, following the run, putting it off at the pass. Patterson, Peterson, one more on to Neustrom, and that's got to be a foul, ref, come on! It's got to be a card. Morgan there with a very rash challenge on Neustrom. Now he'll have to watch himself for the rest of this game. The opposition there who was sat extremely deep. Into Neustrom, turns his man, comes inside. The Swede can't quite finish the job though, but the early warning signs are there. Fredrickson Patterson looking for support. It comes into Fredrickson. Looks to drive in, but finds Lance Allen, and it's a really, really poor effort there. Romola shadowing the opposition, and Thomas comes out to flunk that away. We haven't got it clear just yet. Lance Allen here. Yeah, my Allen's confused. He drives forward with this one. Into the box. Hits it. And we can't get the follow-up. Into Peterson, and he skews that wide with that effort. Could have done so much better there. Snatched at the shot from the edge of the box. Tries to take it, first time left-footed. Lays it off to Nystrom. Gets it through to Peterson. Peterson can't finish it again.
It was indicated there will be a minimum of 2 minutes of added time.
Son. Lots of bodies around him. Feeds it into Lance Allen. Goes round the corner. Tries to chip it up into the box, but he can't get it in there. Defender does really well. Knocks it out for a throw-in, and that is half-time. And we're drawing this one yet again, 0-0, having had plenty of shots on target. Soon will push forward. Inside channel for Nystrom, and he's then found Fredrickson. And there we have it, guys. The three Swedes combine in that effort as we go 1-0 up here against Chorley, and it's well deserved. We've put the pressure on, we've applied the pressure, and then we have got our just desserts. Lovely ball from Nystrom to find Fredrickson, and he absolutely hammers that home. So he then looks for Peterson. Having a lovely little game between themselves here as Peterson comes through the middle. Surely the second goal, a lovely bit of play there from Peterson. Well, both of them, to be fair, Patterson and Peterson. But Peterson was the one that brought that through the pack and blast the ball home. 2-0 here. We're really starting to look like we're in charge of this game. Drives through the middle of those two and sets Ennis away. Tries to feed it inside, but he can't quite get the ball across the box to the on-rushing Cockerell Mollet. But it's a 2-0 victory here at home at Damson Park, and the home crowd will be ecstatic with that one because we really put in a good performance. Okay, so here we go, final game of the episode, and it's one on the road here as we go out to Hartlepool. Well in by Campbell. Rafferty doing well to control that, and he lays it out to Valpini here. Gets round his man. Had a great feeling about this. Instead of playing him as a CDM, we got him here out on the wing. Rafferty, just can't pull the trigger. Managed to get round his man. Leads towards Rafferty, but the ball was always going to be behind him. Valpini steals that away. Comes across for Fredrickson, who batters it home. And that choice to have Valpini out on that left-hand side has already paid off, as he's been able to pick out Fredrickson, who got forward from his central midfield position. Absolutely battered that past the keeper. 1-0 here, and look at that, this ball back across for Fredrickson, who hits it with his weak foot. You have to remember he's left-footed, but he took the opportunity with his right foot exceptionally well. 1-0. Cockerell Mollet right the way down the line here for Valpini, and he's got the run on his man. Chips it up, and the keeper pushes that around. Fredrickson inside for Rafferty. Lays it off to Valpini. Oh, and it's 2-0 already. This could end up being a rout as we really start to run them ragged. Alpini playing out on that left wing. Well, what a signing. We signed him to play as a central defensive midfielder, and I just had a feeling that he might play out good out there, having the pace for that job. And it's starting to look like that was a good decision. 2-0. Feeds it off to Valpini. He comes inside and Rafferty's going. Oh, and he just slices it wide of the keeper, but also wide of the post. Unlucky there from the young striker. Well done by Max Allen, but the player there for Hartlepool, Carter, gets in the way of it as it drops and does take a nice shot on target. A shot on the goal, wasn't actually on target. Oh, Max Allen caught out. And Kelly there, as we get caught out in a little bit of disarray at the back there with that ball that come up over the top. Max should have really got a toe to it. Campbell comes across to cover him off and leaves us exposed in the centre for Kelly then to strike. 2-1. Well intercepted. And that brings the game to a conclusion. It is a victory here for Solihull on the road, and it's a really good one to end this episode with. Pearson there just having a celebration with Alpini, who got himself on the score sheet from that left wing position. A goal also for Fredrickson and a good all-round performance. Right guys, so there we have it, the end of episode 13, and as we can see, we currently sit in third place behind the two teams that have been dropped down into the National League from League 2. We're currently in third position behind Morecambe on goal difference. They have 8 goals, 8 goals difference better than us, so obviously they've scored 4, 8, they've scored 8 should I say, and conceded none. We currently have a goal difference of 3, having scored 4 and conceded 1. This is going to be quite the challenge as we go through this season to try to keep up with those two teams that have come down, but we will do our level best to get the best out of Solihull going forward. If you have enjoyed this episode, don't forget to hit that like button and also subscribe to the channel for more FIFA 20 content. But for now, I'm out of here.